Everyone, Temporal here, and for this one we are going to be reviewing a gold Ana player. I think they might play some Zen too, based on what they said, but we will be looking at a gold Ana. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do feel free to like and subscribe. I definitely appreciate that. Or if you're looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, and in there you'll be able to see my rates, connect with other people who are chatting about Overwatch, talk about crazy stuff, who knows what, all that good stuff. But gotta join the Discord first to see it. Hey. So there's a lot of heat coming this direction. What's the rest of your team look like? The rest of your team, you've got your Reinhardt there. No, you can play from here with this comp. Clear the Discord though. Just swing left at this point. At this point, now that you've got the Discord, just swing over here. And then from over here, you can see that their Ryan drifted right, all that stuff, which means left is going to be a bit safer for you. And you can influence what you need to in this fight. You can come up here if you need to help your Ryan, but mostly you'll be able to heal your team over here without the enemy having sight lines on you. And, you know, you'll peek up here and do stuff. Might be too late. Now you might be stuck here. I very much dislike that nade. That nade was I'm worried about hitting my next shot, so I'll throw my nade at Zarya rather than be embarrassed about missing 2 shots in a row or something like that. Don't do that. Just settle down, relax into it, and hit your next shot. You'll be just fine. It's a bad habit to use your nade like that as a crutch for, ooh, I'm worried I'll hit my next shot. The nades you're looking for are nades that turn enemies purple, because that's really valuable, or nades that you need the healing accelerating property on the nade. You need the fact that it makes future shots do plus 50% healing to the target, and you need that to keep up a target that's taking a ton of damage, etc. You don't nade someone just because, hey, I might miss my next shot or I might miss my next 2 shots. You just settle down and, you know, relax into hitting that next shot. But also don't stand right here with your Junkrat. You're going to take shots that are meant for him. Yeah, that's fine. You can zoom. You're at a distance there where your shots will actually get to him faster if you zoom. Like, even though it takes an instant for you to zoom, a moment for you to zoom in, your shot will still get there total faster if you zoom some of those shots. Yeah, they didn't need them. And you were too late to be really helping them there by turning the enemy purple. Okay. Who's your healing partner? Moira. That doesn't really help you. Where are you playing from now? Hint, it's not here. I don't love you playing from here. Like, you've got the drum between you and the enemies, and that sort of helps. But I think what you're going to find is this team does have a ball. That could come bother you. But also, you're just going to have more influence over this fight if you get up to here. You could swing to here. That's a little more dangerous because they can come through it. But really, over here should be fine. This isn't terrible. But do get healed. Ask your Moira for some healing. Or go find a health pack. Don't use nade on yourself. An offensive nade. Too shallow, but good effort. Yeah, this is too long. You should have just demanded that your Moira come heal you by now, or you should have found a health pack. See how your team rotated forward, how I sort of knew they inevitably would, and you're not really in a place to help them, whereas if you were up here, you could have rotated a bit with them and done some work, or if you were here, you'd have potentially had better nade opportunities, or look, you'd have a straight sight line on them. That's kind of why I didn't want you back here, because the game flows a bit, and you can't really relocate to stay effective from here.
This will help. Enemy turret eliminated. You're going to be okay.
He's full health. You could have broke the turret instead. Okay. You didn't need one of those shots. One of those should have done for breaking the turret. This is so painful because you still don't have health. There's been windows here where you... Okay, I can live with that one. I hope what you were going to do is you were going to slam the nade right on the edge here and get both of you. I hope you were thinking, hey, I'll get self-heal out of this nade, but I'll also get values, so it'll be okay, in which case I'm good with it. But the reason you're down is very much because you haven't gotten any healing or gone for a health pack. And I don't like you self-nading when you're not being dove actively, etc. But at some point, yes, it's got to give. Go find a health pack. Go demand that Moira comes over and heals you. She had plenty of time. Please don't sit at half health for a minute. That's just not going to work very well.
All soldiers are hard to kill.
Enemy turret destroyed. Thank you, my friend.
I will keep you healed.
Okay, we're doing more scopes now than we were earlier. You did not need the acceleration. You needed a little bit of group healing, which makes it a little more forgivable. But you honestly didn't need that group healing. They were in safe enough places. Is Seeking a soldier? Is Seeking a soldier? Is Seeking a visor? Yeah, there we go. So optimally, you'd have actually slept the hog, but we forgive you.
If we are to progress, we must raise the objective.
That's gutsy. You throw the nade forward while there's a hog on you, or while there's a monkey that's just jumped on you, and you don't have your sleep dart. That's gutsy. Yeah. I'd like you to hold your sleep for the monkey and have nade to use offensively. That's what I'd like. But not having either available and actively choosing to put the second on cooldown while he's attacking you was not what I'd recommend. Good sleep. You know the monkey won't be back for a couple seconds, so it's fine to use it. But you do want to start to rotate to the left a little more towards your team here because there's a monkey. You gonna nade this? Fine. Good! Good! Yeah. I mean, we weren't really supposed to stay close to this close to this fight, but you should win it out. Well, okay. Or we could not. Should. That is one messy fight.
My ultimate is charging.
Okay, so let's see how we use this nano.
Watching your back.
Probably gonna go for the visor again. I'm assuming that bubble was meant for Ryan and you yoinked it. That's unfortunate. That haven't seen a very good nade yet. Your best nade was probably the one that you walked into Winston and went, I'm gonna get both of us with. That's not a terribly good one.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Is that for the heal? What do you think he's gonna do with that? I guess you're just going. I'd rather you nanoed your Reinhardt in that situation, or yeah, good. If you meant to get the Junkrat there, don't go for the Reinhardt instead. Like, he's not like at 70% where the nano is going to accelerate him to his tire or anything, and he's probably not even going to get tire. Like, the Rein is the better choice if that's what you're doing. The nano's attack visor would be fine too, but don't pick the monkey there. The healing property of the nano is probably the least valuable part of it, and I think that's most of why you did it.
Oh, you look tired.
Would have been a better nade, but late.
Go. I'll keep you healed.
Okay, we got the win. Good stuff.
Ready for battle.
So the biggest thing is, staying at half health for a full minute or so there. But the next biggest thing is probably the position you are choosing to hold. It's not terrible, but I think we can do better.
2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
There we go. No, that's not what our nades are for. You guys are totally fine. They're not in any danger. And if we go back to before, just to illustrate the point,
Ready for battle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
just to illustrate the point, even before that nade hit, they were in no danger. Orion's probably got about half, 2/3 of his shield left. Yuzaria's just now using her personal bubble. Projected bubble hasn't gone out. Everyone's health was fine. This nade 100% not necessary. And now you don't have it for the next 10 seconds there. You could do good things with it in the next 10 seconds. I bet we'll see multiple opportunities in the next 10 seconds. Oh, look, you could nade that McCree right there. That could be pretty valuable. You could throw your nade here and get your Reinhardt and your Zarya. And if they, push in, you'll get them too. There's lots of better things. Now, you can't get Great Nade here because the Winston's in the way, but you could have gotten this McCree. But, we'll keep watching. Oh, look! You could nade that and get both Reinhardts. That would be pretty valuable. Well, okay. You did do that. You had your nade back in time. Fine.
The objective is now.
I see you, Chad. I'll look at that in a second. Good sleep. Get out.
Go. I keep you here.
Everyone, heal up.
I don't really want you frontlining this hard. I like that you've hit this nade. Frontlining isn't the way to get good nades, but I do like that you're going for an offensive nade because I'm not seeing enough of those. But, they're all here. They're all here. They're all live. There's only 3 of you here. Your next person's 2 seconds away. The rest of your people are in spawn or further. You don't want to be here right now. You want to go, hey, let's group further behind cover, closer to our spawn, and then we'll push out a 6. Maybe we all push one direction, or maybe we push multiple directions like your Junkrat is doing. But we group back closer to spawn and then push out. We don't try to hold down the fort as 3 against 6 here. With the exception of when DPS is ulting like Nanoblade or Nanovisor, is there any situation where it is more viable to nano DPS over a tank? Yeah. Regular Nano Reaper, like a Reaper, doesn't have Death Blossom, anything like that, but is already in the enemy team, is already in the range at which he does work, is totally a more valid nano target than, say, Hamster, just as an example. So yes, there's good nano targets. Reaper's one of them who, hey, that could be worth it over picking my traditional good nano targets. Similarly, a low energy Zarya, well, low energy Zarya is not any good to anyone. Now, there's some good nano targets like Winston, that's a good one who's usually going to get it. D.Va can be okay. I'd probably prefer my Reaper to my D.Va, though, unless I was getting the added benefit of, hey, I really need the point stall or something like that to go with it, etc. So, yeah, there's times when a DPS without the ult can totally be worth it over the available tanks. I'd also, in some situations, I'd favor nanoing a Tracer over nanoing a ball. It depends. Nano Whole Hog is okay. Nano Hog without Whole Hog isn't really very good. Yeah, a couple of them.
Team, heal up here.
This just isn't a very good approach, and your team kind of got forced into this. Oh, poor monkey, didn't go the right way. You don't have any cooldowns, but your team has made enough space. Nope, team hadn't made enough space. So let's go look back at what you use sleep for here.
I will keep you real.
That nade's fine. I think this is where you use it. So you were going for the Lucio. Lucio was probably gone with or without it. But I'm okay because you're cleaning up this fight that is a 1 fight until you get charged.
Go.
You're up enough in this fight. Yeah, there was no need to push up here. You don't have anything more that you contribute to the fight up here, as opposed to back here, where you have better cover available to you. You see that? Here you have cover. If the other Ana starts shooting at you, you can try and use this as cover. If the Rein charges you, you can use this as cover. If the Winston tries to jump at you, you can round the corner so that he doesn't get the impact damage from landing. You're kind of caught in no man's land here, and that's why you're vulnerable to this charge that now comes.
Barrier up.
What? No! That poor nade! That poor nade. Okay, so you got to keep this angle closed. You got to, because that McCree has now put you in lethal range.
Barrier.
Okay, you could walk out when he put that barrier down for you, but you couldn't walk out of the barrier. You're in just as much danger as you were before. And I think the plan was to nade yourself and him, but maybe you didn't realize you were, like, sliding down the hill or something, or you were on this step. Like, this nade isn't going to hit you. That's not going to work.
Heal up.
Yeah, you're not getting healed from the nade, you're getting healed from his healing station. And he definitely didn't need your nade there. He had his own healing station, was not worth it for a one-person nade. You don't have your sleep, because you've been pretty willy-nilly with your sleep in general. Do I need to... No, I'm not going to talk to a gold Ana about ult tracking. We could start talking about cooldown tracking, though. But no, it's just charge and leap at this point. No, we'll keep it to nades and positioning. I don't really like that. Those open nades can be good when you're on defense. Those cool little set nade spots can be good when you're on defense and they need to walk out of a spawn and you hit them right as they pass a point. They're not so good when you're on offense like this or on King of the Hill because your nade is on a cooldown. And I'm sorry, but if a tracer or a ball or something shows up on you right now, you're going to really wish you had that nade back for the extremely, extremely low probability that that nade was going to have any impact in the match over there. Bad trade. And I know that there's not a Winston, or excuse me, a ball or a tracer, but there is a Winston, there is a Lucio. Those are heroes that could show up on you. There could be, for all you know, a Junkrat hiding here to tire. Like, there are things that you could be worried about. There could be an Ashe propped up here. There couldn't actually be. Your team has too much space for that to be the case. But I want you generally to not do that nade.
This objective must be ours.
You're powered up. Get in
Good.
there.
Get out of my way.
Get me.
That nade was too shallow. I think you meant to get more value out of that nade, have it a little deeper, get the purple, but it was just too shallow. And mechanics I don't care about, so you can fix that.
Sorry, Winston.
Okay. It's a long hike back to 100% from here, but it's doable. Okay, why are we standing here? Why are we standing here where the nades are getting funneled down the stairs into us? Why are we standing here in the open? Could go over here. Could go over here where we can contribute. Could go over here where we have our nice scope. We can contribute. We can poke at the high ground. We can drop if we take pressure. This is not a place to stand. This was more acceptable to just stand in the middle of the open like this on the first map because the drums actually gave you cover from their middle. You don't have any cover from their middle. You're just in the line of fire. Like, you're just fully in the line of fire. Not a thing. Don't be there. It hurts. You will take fire that isn't meant for you, and you also have more fire aimed for you because you're easily accessible.
Get back in the fight.
Good. Okay. Good job. But you can't be here anymore. You're pretty close for an Ana that doesn't have any cooldowns. Immediately turn and heal your Moira. Like, someone is going to shoot at her. She is standing in a trap. Shoot your Moira, turn back, and sleep this Junkrat. See, the Junkrat's totally going to ignore you in favor of shooting the Moira, which is exactly what happened. Now, it was actually the Winston who got the elimination on the Moira, but again, you see she's trapped, you immediately pivot as you can keep moving, but you pivot as you're walking past her and shoot her with your heal dart or with a heal dart or two, then pivot back and go, oh shoot, there's a Junkrat right in front of me, let me sleep it, then continue on with healing your Moira. That was the way through that. Or, you know, you can sleep the now nanoed primal monkey. I don't really care. But, you know, that could be better than sleeping the Junkrat. I was saying the Junkrat because you had to, because it was right in front of you, etc. But honestly, he's paying attention to the Moira. So you know what? Sleep the monkey.
I'm on fire.
Certainly an easier sleep. Good, good. I like that you put pressure on there to give the tire a little more space. Good. Do you have any sort of ult bank? Yeah, the ult bank is you. It is on you to win this next fight.
Watching your back.
So your valid targets, you can try and keep the fight going long enough to get Nano Visor, or you can just Nano a monkey when he's in. You're up 1. I don't like it. Don't forget about your team in the front line. This Junkrat is safe. You do not need to overpay attention to someone who is safe over here. I know he's missing like 40% of his health, 50% of his health, so it feels like, oh, I've got to heal him. But he was potentially in less danger than your monkey who was over here. So even if your monkey has more health, this Junkrat is in less danger. Don't spend 4 seconds looking for a way to heal your Junkrat without checking on your monkey's status. Danger is relative. Full health versus less health, I don't care if your Junkrat has 1 HP. If he's fully behind cover and there's no flankers on the board, he's not in serious danger. You'll want to heal him up at some point because you'll want to get him back in the action, but you don't need to go, I'm tunneling him for 4 seconds to get the opportunity to heal him.
Need healing. I need healing.
So, Nano, you're going to have to find a good Nano here.
Tactical visor out.
There's your Nano. Yeah.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Good, good. Sleep it, sleep it, sleep it. Okay. Speaking of positioning, since we're on the topic, you get booped down here, which, you know, that's painful. You go up to high ground thinking high ground's good, and high ground is okay, except that you know the fight before was happening over here. You know this is where their spawn is, and sure enough, this is where danger ends up coming from shortly. And your soldier shows up missing health, and you actually get to see that.
Tactical visor.
Maybe you don't get to see that. You see that? You see your soldier is missing health, and you see the direction the tire is coming from. That probably means that you can't be here. Even without turning to look, that probably means there's danger in that direction. And sure enough, there is. So you potentially want to drop down over here ASAP and then start working your way back out over here.
You're powered up. Get in there.
It's fine, Nano. You can't afford to drop point, so you just have to pour it in. Okay.
Feeling sleep. Overtime. My team still needs me.
Okay. Okay, so far we've got some questionable positioning that you're not adjusting very well, getting caught by the Rhine charge, positioning error, being up there when you had cues that, hey, I can't be up here, positioning error, a couple other things where, hey, you couldn't follow your team on first point, positioning error, and then we've got the nade usage stuff, where you're not getting very good purples, and you're using that nade sometimes to cover for, oh, I'm not confident that I'll hit the second or third shot to heal someone. Those are the biggest. Okay, so I know you specifically had a question about the support swaps that happened here. So let's take a look and see what we're looking at. So you're on Lucio. I think you were just on Lucio for the swap. I don't think this Lucio pick was real. Maybe you were going to march out if you're on Lucio, but I think... Okay, so now you're going to Zen, and you have Zen Bap. You were Zen Moira, now you're Zen Bap. That's fine. You've got a great poke setup with this. It's a little weird that you have the ball to go with this, but you're strong on poke.
5, 1. Round 3. Capture.
Yeah, nothing weird here. Okay. I mean, you know, Zarya's a little weird, but like this is as good as it gets on ladder.
Enemy contact. Next time.
Don't finish close to him. Yeah, there you go. I want to just show you something. Your Harmony Orb's out, your Harmony Orb's out.
Enemy contact. Next time.
Your Discord Orb's gone because he wraithed it off. Your Harmony Orb's gone. Harmony Orb's still gone. Harmony Orb's still gone. Harmony Orb. Not the end of the world. Little bit of uptime there. You had time for a quick flick. I understand why you didn't. Hey, it's a Reaper. It's scary. What if he cancels his Wraith early? Just something to be aware of. No, please don't. Please don't. Okay. Not right. And you're lucky Anna missed that last shot. But heck. You're done. Just reset. Literally just get out. Get out. Leave. 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 Your exit was right through here 6 seconds ago. And now you swap to BAP. And you swap to BAP because your teammate went to Briggs. That wasn't, strictly speaking, something you had to do. How much ult charge did you have? I think this is what the question was related to. Oh, you only had half your ult. 70%. Yeah, so if your teammate here just went Briggs, I don't have any issue with you swapping to BAP, but nothing said you had to. Your team can work with, if it has to, a Zen Briggs backline, because you had Zen Briggs and you also had the Soldier healing station. So you guys should be a bit clumped anyways with this comp, with how your poke works. Yes, okay, you do want to spread around to get your good concave, but you could have gotten value out of the support line without making swaps. That would have been perfectly fine. Your Orisa isn't trying to take a ton of damage. She's trying to shield dance, do all those things. Zarya's going to take some, but you know, you can cover it with a Harmony Orb. This swap is fine, but you didn't have to make it by any means. You could have played through what you had. Oh, and now you're going to Anna. Okay, Anna's fine too. You're definitely playing less into your poke now. But if Anna's your comfort pick, the hero you want to be working on, I got no issue. I mean,
No dying
yeah.
on my watch.
We walked up into grenades. That happens. Good. Good. Healing. Okay. Fine. It's fine. So generally you just out-rotate this. If so, team is hard holding a choke and you feel like you can't walk through it, you just have your team pretend to start to go one way and then quickly rotate to the other way. Now you should lose that rotation war because A, it's a shorter rotation for them, and B, they have a Lucio, but guess what, it's ladder and you won't. I'm serious. Back out, back out. You don't want the landing damage. Good. Good. Heal again. Yeah. Keep healing. You don't need to go to their side of the map. If your team is adjusting up, you can, but it's too likely that they're going to come out right up here. Like, I don't know why you're exposing yourself by being up here. That's really kind of unnecessary. Your BAP has pretty good positioning. That's pretty solid. You could do it from there. You could play from here if you wanted. This, though, this I don't particularly like. Like, yes, it's cover, but it's just so close to this, and your team is nowhere close to being able to help you with you up there.
Why? I'm on
There's just
fire.
no need to spend your nade on that. There's just no need to spend your nade on that. He's not getting out. Like, he's asleep in the middle of 4 of your teammates. You now literally can't hold this positioning. Like, you literally can't. Please leave. Please leave. No. No, you have no abilities. You can't be here. You are right by their spawn entrance and you have no abilities to protect yourself with.
Watching your back.
Behind you.
Healing in hand. You're going to be okay.
Yeah, I see that's a habit now. I don't want that. I don't want the sleep and immediately follow it with the nade. Now, if you're protecting yourself from a tracer, sure, you can do the sleep. Really what you do is you sleep, nade up in the air, and then time it so that you hit them when the nade comes down and everything is beautiful. But if on a target you slept that's near you that is something else, you want to go sleep, shoot nade, shoot melee, something like that. That's totally fine with me. But you are not going to, I don't want this habit of I sleep something and then I go nade that target, etc. Like, the sleep is enough of an opening on its own for your team to take care of and punish, and you don't want to blow your whole load like that most of the time. Now, if you sleep a Reinhardt and now you can throw a nade past his ult team, and you sleep a D.Va and now you can throw a nade and get her ult team with it, sure, do that. But it's not, you don't need both in the overwhelming number of these situations. It's not worth spending both.
I've come back from worse. You're going to be okay.
My ultimate is charging.
Did need that nade. You were aggressive on using those
I've come back
cooldowns.
from worse.
And you're not using them from particularly good angles. So what I mean by, sorry, you're not particularly aggressive in using them. You use them at a hair twitch, more so than I like. But you do hit some pretty decent distance sleeps. Not that one. Dude, I hope you meant to slip that over his shoulder.
Get in there.
He's not there yet. He's not. You still wanted to win the game, right? If you still wanted to win the game, nanoing him doesn't make him move faster anymore. So he still had to get close to a target. And then if you were going to win the game, it's not like, oh, the game ended and I have nano, that I'm so terrible, etc., etc. No, you still have to get value out of your nano. Let him get to the point where he has something to swing at and then nano him. Okay, so for you, we do need to talk about that cooldown usage. I don't want to see that sleep instant nade. I don't want that combo on distant targets to be an automatic thing for you because we saw it a couple times. I also notice you're really willing to just use both cooldowns. I don't think you're really keeping in mind when the next cooldown is available if you use your second cooldown or vice versa. So I want you to have a little more awareness of that. That's going to help you out. And some of your positioning is going to be informed by that. I think you're a little too hair triggery with your cooldown use is what I'm going to say. So you're too hair triggery with that. If you have a little more awareness of that, I think you're going to find yourself without any cooldown less. I don't want you to be like, oh, I never use my cooldowns. That's quite the opposite, actually. I want you to get good nade value. But I think if you're a little more aware of that, you're going to do more repositioning when you have less stuff to protect yourself with, etc. And I also think you're a little more conscious of your cooldowns. It's going to lead to better use, and better nade use is something I want us to talk about. Too often those nades were coming out, especially in the early rounds, to go, I'm healing one ally. I'm healing one ally. No, I want the purple nades. I want them thrown so that they hit enemies, but I don't want them, sleep then hit enemies. I want you to hit enemies from the side. I want you to not walk forward to enemies. I want you to hit enemies from the side. Don't throw those nades out just because you're afraid you'll miss a shot. That's an example of you giving up your nade cooldown too easily, and I don't want you doing that. So yeah, think a little more, be a little more cognizant of your cooldown usage. I want you to rein it in a little bit. We'd probably then creep it back up because, the air is probably, hey, you'll start using them too less, but we need to rein it in a little bit so that we can add back in some more good usage, because right now they really are just coming out like that at the hair trigger, and you're not getting great value out of some of them. Though as a result, you are hitting some pretty good sleeps. You've clearly had enough sleep dart practice from using it, how you're using it, etc. And did we need to talk nanos? No. Did we need to talk positioning? We could, but I think you'll think a bit more about your positioning if you're doing a little more with your cooldowns, as that's relevant. Yeah, I think that's going to work for today. So, yeah, people, if you're enjoying the content, please do feel free to like and subscribe. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below. And through there, you'll be able to see my rates, connect with other people that are getting coached, all that good stuff. Thanks, guys. Temporal out.